every session I have a dedication. I had a dedication for today, and then I changed it last minute. I changed it this morning. So every day, I call her my mother-in-law. I should just say mom. She calls me daughter. Anyways, her name is Anne. And Anne lives in California, and Anne writes these, like, they're almost like blogs, they're emails every day to family and her close friends. And she wrote something that love reading what she writes, and she's a very young 86-year-old, and anyway, 86-year young old, whatever. And anyway, she said something in her writing, and I thought, that's my dedication for today. She said, I think we need a call. We need to have a national day of calm. And I thought, yeah, how about an international day of calm? And this is it. Today is your International Day of Calm, calming oneself. The goal being just feeling the goodness of cultivating peace, cultivating stillness, because there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, in the States, in the world. And I think it can eat up a lot of energy thinking about it. And so I think cultivating a day, International Day of Calm. So it doesn't really exist, but it should. And it will for us. Okay, so that's where we're at. As far as our class goes today, we're working through all the joints of the body. So you'll see how that all works. So hands are to heart center. And take a deep breath in. Exhale, that nice clearing breath. And then interlace or press palms up. Tilt your head back, reaching skyward. And then arms are out to the sides, chin down, hands down, and touch. And then again, hands are to heart. Inhale, reaching up. This time, interlace your fingers, press palms up, chin down. And then tilting your head back, looking up. And once again, chin down. And then the hands come behind the back. Interlace your fingers and extend the arms, squeezing shoulder blades together. Again, chin down. And then look straight ahead of you and look past one shoulder. Look past the shoulder and kind of like you're looking down at your mat. And then look the other way. Turn and look down. It's a very unique movement to the neck. To turn and look down. And then from here, we'll come forward. So you're stretching forward. You could sit cross-legged, Asana, which is just an easy pose. You could sit in half lotus, full lotus. And then let's reverse the leg crossing. So reversing. And once you reverse the legs, we'll come forward again. So you might feel that all inner thigh, but maybe feel that on your low back, your outer hip area. And releasing the back of your neck. And you direct your breathing. The whole session, you're really working with your breath. But then when we come to Shavasana at the end, we become the observer of the breath. So right now you are manipulating your breath. You're bringing your breath into the back of your heart center, the back of the kidneys, back of the lungs. And then, good. So we're going to go wide. And if you, as you go wide, maybe you want to move on your mat, maybe you're fine. And some like to move, if your heels would be on the mat then. And we're circling. So you get into your inner thighs, circling. Oh yeah. Hello, hip joints. And let's see if we could start to kind of shimmy the shoulders a little more. So you're moving your shoulders. And reverse. You inhale as you come upright and you exhale as you shift your weight forward. And then I just call this, so I've always thought of this as it's like you're holding a big spoon and you're stirring a pot. And it could be, I always say dal, you're moving, it could be like a lentil soup, lentil stew. You're shifting forward and you're trying to engage your core. Yep, it's Karen. Not quite at 15, but close. Okay.
Sure
yeah. And then reverse. It's really hard to believe that before the pandemic, we had 30 in here, 33. I don't know how. Like right now, I'm like, what? Okay. And yeah. And one more. I reversed. Okay. You reverse the movement. Let's do 2 more. Forward, back, exhale, forward. Good work. And coming up. All right. So once again, some of these are moving asanas and then we'll hold. So you're going to move to one side. So you're side bending and then you'll inhale up through center and come over and side bend. So Dave and Shelley and Jim are there doing this. So you're back and forth. Inhale up, exhale over. And then finally, you choose your side to go to. You'll pause. So some need a strap, especially if your lower hand can't reach, then you would have a strap. But if you can reach, you try to hold the foot, elbow maybe to the inside knee, top arm up over ear, and stretch. So in a perfect world, both sitting bones are down. It's not a perfect world, is it? So we know that. I didn't think that was so funny, but yeah. Sometimes our bodies tell us stories, tell us things. Yeah. Let's go ahead and come the other way. So shifting opposite direction. Same thing, using your strap or not, and top arm up. And I feel like these lateral stretches, the side bending movements, they invite us to breathe. See exactly where you need to breathe into. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's a smart thing. Like sometimes we come into a pose and it's hard to hold it. It's hard. So you can come out and then you can regather your strength and come into a pose again. So, all right, we're ready to come out. So we're actually coming onto our backs. And remember, this is about working the joints of the body. So we're gonna come onto our backs. And once you're here, let's work this. So as a foundation, you need a block. You will need one block. And then bend your knees and bring it to your knee. I'll show you where the blocks are. I'll bring them. Ready to each. All right. Yep. So it's pelvic tilts and then, so you have the block at the knees and sorry, I know the lights are very bright, but we keep them bright for most of the class. So you're gonna press your lumbar into the mat, squeeze into the block without tightening your neck or your shoulders, and you tighten your pelvic floor muscles. So it's your Mulat Bandha, it's your lock, your root lock. Your root lock is the pelvic floor. And then you release and you let it go. You're not gripping anymore. Now go ahead and take your hands under your head, Press your pelvis down into the mat, squeeze your knees into the block, tighten pelvic floor muscles. And inhale, release. It's really an important movement. And in a sense, it could be like a foundation of many of the poses, is squeezing in. And notice how you're able to access the deepest layer of abdominal muscles. And release. Do 2 more at your own pace. You exhale completely, and then you inhale and you let go. When I'm watching you, I don't see a whole lot of movement, but internally, from your perspective, a lot is happening, right? And then when you're done with that, you're going to take the soles of the feet together, bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana. So the feet are together, outside feet resting to the mat. Hands are onto your belly, and breathe into your belly. Inhale and exhale. And breath in and exhale. And then you can continue with that. The lower body is receptive to gravity's pull. But now interlace your fingers, press your palms up to the ceiling, and then take your arms up overhead. So now the palms are facing the wall behind you, little fingers touching the floor, and you just feel the upper body is active. And now you can breathe both into your belly, but also into your rib cage. And it kind of sets the tone for the deep breathing and this idea of sometimes we have a receptivity in the pose and sometimes action, a lot more active in a posture. All right. And then release and bring your knees together. We'll come to bridge. So your feet are pressing down into the mat. You could start out with a pelvic tilt. So you press your back into the floor. You might tighten the Uddiyana Bandha, the pelvic floor lock, root lock, and then you start to press up. So you're pressing up into bridge. Now I do let go of the pelvic tilt to arch. Clasp your hands, tuck shoulders underneath you, lift up high. Good, and you're coming into your bridge and breathe. And then we'll release. And then as you release, let's pull right knee into chest. Lift your head, bring your head to knee. And then up to you, you release. And so when you release and you reach past your feet, you have to engage your core. Good. Okay. Let's reverse. Hug left knee to chest. Uttanasana, wind relieving pose. You're pulling knee in. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift your head to knee. And then extending, reaching your arms. Yep, engaging your core. Mm-hmm. And if that's hard for you, you support your head using your hands. Yep. And then release and come out. First side again. It's Ardha Padmasana. So Ardha Padma means it's a half lotus. So you're holding your right foot. Again, if you can't reach, use a strap. That's fine. The strap could hold your foot, or you're holding your foot. And remember, this is all about the joints of the body. You could move your foot. You could make circles with your foot and see if the circles can originate from your hip. In fact, your right hand could be to your hip. So as you're moving your leg, you can feel that there's movement. Mm-hmm. You got it. Yeah. And then let's go ahead and make sure knee is bent and you're flexing your right ankle. You're holding the same foot and you're lifting your head. Good. You're lifting your head, bringing your head towards your foot or close in, or maybe not close, and breathe. Engage your core as you lift. Yeah, good. And then release, straighten the leg, lower it, and we'll do the second side, grabbing hold of your left foot. flex your left ankle, so you always protect your ankle ligament, you protect your knee, and you're circling any way that works for you. Yep. And the important part is that you're moving into your left hip joint. And then reverse the circle. Reverse the circle. Good. Moving. And then now we can have both hands are holding the left foot. And you can stay low or take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift your head, bringing your head towards foot, foot towards head. And meanwhile, the right leg is straight if possible. Breathing in. Exhale. And then release, straighten the leg in the air and lower it. Good. All right. So another one here on our backs, and then we'll probably, I don't mind we aren't looking up the bright lights in studio for long. So right leg is in the air. No strap on this, though. Everyone's like really wanting to use the strap, but let's just have the leg up in the air. Arms are at a T position. Take a deep breath in, nasal breathing. Exhale, nasal breathing. You're going to take your right leg over to the left, and you're turning your head to the right. Imagine someone's holding your right shoulder down, and you're going to hold your leg in position. Your legs make an L shape, and you're on to the outside left foot, outside left hip, and then back to center. Take a breath in. Now we'll work more with the rhythm of the breathing. Exhale, twist. Your head turns away from the leg, and inhale back to center. Third one, last one. Exhale, twist, and come back to center. Lower the leg, and we'll do the second side. So the left leg is up in the air. Arms are at a T position. Take a breath in. Exhale. The first one we hold a little longer, so I just want you to, hold the first one, which means you'll need to keep breathing. Good. And then can your straight leg on the floor be active? Yeah, so activate it, straighten it. Your head is turned opposite of the leg in the air, and then come back to center. Inhale. The next two are done with the rhythm of your breathing. Exhale across. Keep your shoulders down. And inhale, center. Last one, exhale across. Good. Your head turns to the left, left leg goes to the right, and back to center. Good work. And lowering the leg. And then let's make our way up. That was comfortable, wasn't it? It was like, can we just stay here the whole class? Okay, remember we're this is the International Day of Calm. Established by Fran Gallo on June 28, 2020. Okay.
You should claim it as your fault.
What's that?
You should claim it as your fault.
I think I will. There is no International Day of Calm as far as I know.
There is.
Well, now there is. Yeah, now there is.
Maybe give Rick's mother a little,
Say that again.
maybe give Rick's mother a little.
Oh, yes. I'll give Anne. Anne gets all the found
Awesome.
inspired by Anne. Okay. So let's come to child's pose and bring your knees can be a little wide. That's fine. Bring your head down. Can your forehead touch down, arms forward. And I always, I really like having that blanket under the knees. It's more comfortable. Chris, would you want to leave it? You're good. Here. So one more breath here. Inhale and exhale. So we're going to thread the needle from here. So it's a great one for the joints of the body. So let's go ahead and take your right leg and bring it forward. So if I'm facing you, that's my right leg comes forward. So it could be back a ways, or it could line up hand to hand, foot all lined up. And then your left arm comes up. So when I reach my left arm up, I feel that in my right inner thigh. And then left arm threads underneath the right, and left hand is reaching for the foot. You might not be able to reach your foot. You might reach it. We'll just see. And then as you're here, lower your left shoulder, lower the side of your head. The more open you are, the more you're able to look up towards the ceiling. So what I think about in this pose is that my chin is reaching for my right collarbone, and the right side of my chin reaching for the right collarbone closer into the shoulder. So if that's helpful, yeah, you got it. You got it. Yeah.
And then if your head doesn't come down, you can rest your head up.
It looks like, I don't know, it looks a bit like a sea star. It's kind of interesting. You got all kinds of space here. Okay, let's go ahead and come up and we'll do the second side. Okay, so second side, now your left leg is extending. And you know, could be back, or maybe the hand, maybe hand, foot alignment. If that's too much, just keep your knee down. Right arm comes up, reach up high, extend. Yeah. And then reach. Chaturanga Dandasana, this thread the needle. It's a, you know, it really translates to threading, the threading pose. So you're dropping down. There's two threading poses as we know them. This one and another. And yeah, and you're breathing, and the breath goes right into the area between shoulder blades, and we're trying to anchor on the side of the shoulder. Oh, yeah. It's a good stretch. A lot of people will say, what am I supposed to feel here? You know, because I think we feel it differently. Like it might be a stretch in shoulder blades, might be the neck, might be that it's just a twist. And it's an interesting pose. You feel a lot going on. Let's come out. And then from here, we're going to come out and we're coming to downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, I'll be this way. Hands are spread wide, curling toes under, pressing back. And we're going to pedal, bend one knee and bend and press opposite heel down, back and forth, back and forth. And then we'll walk the feet back, and you're in plank. If plank's too hard for you, bring your knees down, that's fine. Or you're in plank, breathing in. Exhale, so the pose, the class always is gonna have elements of stretch, elements of strength, always guided by your breath. And then from here, we're gonna go back, and now have your feet wide, and walk your hands back to your feet. Walk back, you're at the back end of your mat. Hands are to elbows, and you're gonna swing from side to side. Swinging your pendulum, your arms are a pendulum swinging from left to right. Let your neck completely relax. Your knees could be soft. Maybe they're straightened. Mine definitely are shifting as I go side to side. And feel your spine relaxing. And then take your hands to the sides of your head and pull down. Release the back of your neck. Inhale. Exhale. So all I did is I pushed my hands into the sides of my head, and I'm gently pulling down. So that gives me a stretch to the neck. Yeah. And then bring your hands onto your thighs and press on up. Ooh. Okay, and reach the arms up into the air. Good. Extend. And hands are to heart. So the IT band stretch. Okay. So take you could work with 1 block or 2 blocks. I don't know, 1 block would probably work for you. I don't know if you need them, so at least they're there. And so they're there, and then if you feel like you need them, you might not need them at all. So bring your right foot in front of the other. And when your foot came in front of the other, sometimes there's a space. I want you to bring your feet really close in together. So right foot in front of the other. Yeah. And feet are down. Yeah. Good. Good. Yeah. So it's balance, isn't it? And then Don, so you're, so it's not, literally, he did understand. So in front of the other and across from the other. God, how do you say that? Because he's doing that way. Yeah. So it goes on the outside. So like that, and then you're going to go the extra mile. There you go. And then from here, so we've got a few things happening. So you can see me on screen. Okay, so you're going to go over to a side bend. So the right foot's in front of the other. So let's just say, okay, the whole right side of the body is going to lengthen. And why not reach for your wrist and breathe. Some would call this another kind of crescent moon because it looks like a crescent. And take another breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. And then from here, now we start to come down. So you can bend your knees, reaching for the blocks, and maybe you don't need them. There's 3 heights. Okay. So work with 1 or both. And then some of you are going to say, oh, I don't need them. Hands, fingertips down, or palms are down.
So your legs are a little bent, or are you trying to straighten?
Yeah, so some like to straighten the legs and some have the knees slightly bent. I would say I have a tendency to lock out. So I'm trying not to lock out my left knee. So I'm trying to keep just a little softness in the knee. It appears to you to be straight, but I'm actually trying not to hyperextend, if that makes sense. And then from here, again, maybe you need your blocks. You're going to walk to the right. You're walking to the right so that your left hip can shift to the left. And now we're focusing on the left leg's IT band, iliotibial band, the outside of the leg stretching. Now you might feel this all as glute stretch, hamstrings, but hopefully also you feel it on the outer leg. Yeah. And breathe. Yeah. What do you think? Is that a good one? Yeah. So sometimes when the hamstrings are really open, it's hard to access the outer leg. It's hard to access this IT band. Okay. And then from here, we're going to come out and reach the arms up, balance, yeah, reaching up, and hands are to heart center. Okay, before doing second side, we're going to come to a squat. So we're dropping down, and some have to modify, some can bring the feet closer in, some can come down, no problem. It's just everyone's very different on this, and stretching your back. So whatever you need to do, feet together, feet apart, heels down if possible, and try to elongate your back. All right, we have a second side. So we're going to come up, and now it's your left foot in front of the other. So left foot in front of the other, and you know, and on the outside of, you got it. And then see if your feet, the outer seams of the feet touch as much as possible. You're going to grab hold of your left wrist and side bend. Yeah, and isn't it strange, the balance on this? Like, so notice if your arms are forward, bring your arms alongside your ears, if not further back, and breathe. So you're going towards the mirror, yeah, and reaching for your left wrist. Okay, and then release, and now we're coming forward. So coming forward, reaching for the blocks, reaching for the blocks, reaching, good, and lowering. So again, you might not need the blocks on this if your hamstrings are pretty open. And then the back leg, does it have to lock out? Can it be just slightly bent? Relax your neck, and then, yep, your Vajra's already there. Start to walk your hands or your blocks over to the left so that the right side of your outer leg, the right side of your hip, lower back can stretch. It's a great stretch. Yeah, and breathe. The neck is released. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Coming back to center and come all the way up and reach the arms up. Extend and hands to heart. And once again, we have a squat malasana. So we're coming to a squat, and I'm going to say, yeah, some modify, some come all the way down, and some can go into crow. So we'll just see. It's an arm balance. If it's possible, you'll try. So for crow, I could say, those of you who know how to come into it, you know how to come into it. If you're like stymied by it, maybe you bring a block to your feet, and it's a way to get weight on your hands, okay? And then others come into it and balance. Squeezing knees into the arms, coming out when you're ready, and coming all the way up. Okay. So still kind of working at these ideas of, we're going to be going into a sequence soon. But I'm still like a little foundation on them. So we're going to go to Eagle, Kadunasana. So your right arm is out to the, or your arms are out and your right arm on top, and then you wrap. So I'm trying to take my elbows up as high as shoulder, as high as chin, I should say. My palms are pressing against each other. If that's impossible, you could always hold your shoulders. And you're breathing in the space between shoulder blades. And then lift, this just the upper part, you're lifting. Separate your feet more, bend your knees, come down, and then straighten your legs. Try to get your right middle finger to touch the mat. And you can make a circle with your arms, circling. Good, and then circling, other direction, you got it. Bend the knees and scoop, your right hand scoops up, reach up and extend, look upward, forward, and then unwind. And we'll do the other side. You go wide, and then your left arm over the other, wrap. Breathe in, lift up high. Bend the knees, drop down a lot, bend the knees a lot, and then straighten. And start to circle with your arms. Yep, and maybe your left middle finger can actually touch your mat. And then reverse the circle. Bend the knees and press on up, extend, reach up, arch back. And release, good. And coming out. Good work. Okay, so we put it all together now. How we doing? Okay, so like all your joints are moving now. All right, so you're at the front end of your mat, and we have eagle. So I would say, I'm going to start this way. Your right leg, so you bend both knees, your right leg comes across, and some have to put the foot on the floor for balance, some use a wall, and then left arm over the other. And breathe. Eagle. The focal point is forward. First one, first pose. We're going to unwind, step your right foot back, and you'll be coming into a triangle. So you step back and you're going to extend. You'll see yourself in the side mirror in the studio. Yep, and breathe. And then shift your pelvis and come to triangle. Your lower arm, it could be on your knee, your shin bone, and then and reaching. Yeah. And So let's just, while we're here, let's go ahead and look at the left foot and make sure that your leading foot, your left foot, is pointing to the front of your mat. Your foundation, your feet. Come up. Now, keep your legs as they are. Right hand back, left arm up in the air. Some might repeat triangle, or you're going to try your half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Some like to use a block, or your left hand is coming onto the mat or the floor, and you balance. Your left hand becomes like a foot. Right arm is up in the air. Yes, and breathe. And then let's bring the hands down. And now you're at the front end of your mat, and your right leg is back, left foot is forward. And if you need your blocks, they're there. And there you go. And you're stretching. Breathing in. Exhale. Back knee comes down, foot extending, and reaching the arms up. Extend. Reach your arms a little further back. Press the moon. We can also bend the elbows, bring your thumbs against your neck or your shoulders, and you can also unfold the hands so the hands are flat against your back. And then we'll twist open to your right, open twist. So right hand on your back, on the back of your knee, calf muscle, who knows, maybe you're reaching for your heel. And there's a lot here. There's a twist, there's extension, there's an arch. You got it. And there's your breathing. And then release. And you have a twist. Right hand is down and left arm comes up. Now you're twisting to your left. Got it. And twist. You got it. Twisting. So yeah, breathing in. Exhale. Lower the hand and let's press back. Downward facing dog. Hands are spread wide. Stretching, take a moment here. And what we're going to do is breathe in through the nose. Exhale through your mouth. HA sound, tucking the belly in. We'll do that again. Inhale through the nose. Yep, exhale. And then come forward to plank. And we could come to Chaturanga Dandasana with the knees straightened, or maybe you need to bend your knees, lower right onto your belly. And first we're gonna come to Sphinx. Press your elbows into the mat, good. And elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. Feet are pointing down, pushing down. So maybe you can straighten the arms. Palms are flat. Yep, there you go. And then for Cobra, just rest your forehead down for a moment. Rest your forehead down, breathing in. Exhale. We say Sphinx, but they're both Cobra. The one we just did is called Salamba Bhujangasana. And then this one, Cobra, is just Bhujangasana. So your hands are alongside your chest, elbows tucked in. Feet could start out together. They might be slightly apart, that's fine. And press up. You can keep elbows bent or straighten. Keep your thighs rounded. Good. Lower. Bring your forehead down. Tuck your chin in. And again, come up. See if you can look upward without, without jamming your neck, and lower. Oh yeah, there's another one. So we come up, and this time we're gonna do lion Shavasana with your mouth. So you take a deep breath in, look up, exhale. You stick your tongue out like your tongue is trying to reach your chin. Again, breathe in. Yeah, it can be audible. And release. And come back to child's pose. Stretch it out. You have a whole other side coming up. So stretch it out, rev up your engine, rest. So as silly as that might feel to stick out your tongue in lion pose Shavasana, that is excellent. They're finding out a lot of information about vagal tone, about your vagus nerve, the wandering nerve, the cranial nerve, and it governs so much, and it governs the gut. It governs your gut health, your digestion, and the flora. It's amazing. And it also, when that's out of balance, also mental health, slightly out of balance, very interesting. So just sticking the tongue out like that helps vagal tone, which is what we want to tone the vagal nerve. So come back, downward facing dog. Breathing. Yeah. Once again, we're going to take a breath in, exhale, and then walk to the front of your mat. Walk forward. And take your hands to your elbows. Let yourself hang. Like your arms are like a sling of weight. Soften the knees, come on up. Swing the arms out to the sides, palms touch. Reach up and back. And hands to heart. Whole other side. So it started out with eagle. You bend your knees, you take your left leg. Remember, it could be like easier when the foot is down or you're wrapping, and then your right arm over the other. Eagle is really known for its effect on the joints of the body. It's really good for arthritic joints, even for those who don't have arthritis. Okay, health, joint health. So you have to squeeze everything to center line. And then I like, by contrast, you swing your foot back and you'll end up in preparation for triangle and shift and go back. So. You got it. And that's an interesting idea, because when we come in predominantly left or right-handed, right? Left-handed or right-handed. And I feel like, I know I'm right-handed. When I started yoga, doing anything on my left was really difficult. And I feel like there's this wonderful balance taking place where you become a little more ambidextrous, where you can, you even out sides and ability. Yeah, this is great. All right. So let's come out. Bring your hand back, left hand back, right arm up into the air. Look up. Breathe. You might notice sometimes one leg feels weaker, one leg definitely dominant, and we're evening that out. So we're equally strong, equally limber on the sides. Okay. And then go ahead and, if you can, maybe you're coming back to triangle or half moon, shifting into half moon. And And then bending your right knee and coming low. So we're just gonna come to a lunge. So you're now at the front edge of your mat, or your hands are down and you're facing the front of your mat and stretching your left hip flexor. Take a breath in. Exhale. And then your knee is down. You might need a little knee padding, and you have crescent moon. So on this pose, I really don't want my knee beyond, because I want stability. I want to give my knee support. So you're reaching up, ankle, knee in alignment, palms can be straight up in the air or further back. Got it. And
She's right, yeah.
And we have an open twist, turn towards your left. So how about if I'm facing this way and I turning towards your left, and it's open twist. Good, reaching. And then twisting the other way. Now you're twisting towards your knee, towards your bent knee. The back leg can be straightened as you turn and twist. Yep, so you want to turn the other way. There you go, there you go. Ooh, come on out. And then from here, we're going to step back. Let's step back to downward facing dog. So take a moment here to step on back and to stretch. So it's like you're aligning, breathing in. Exhale. We're going to come forward to plank. Have your feet together. We're adding side plank, okay? So I'm going to say whatever side you want. I'm not going to say left or right. Do one side and then you'll do the other later. So to make it easier, one knee is down. And to make it more intense, your legs are going to be scissored or stacked. And don't worry, we didn't say left or right, so you're just going to choose one side. Yeah, that's it. And breathe. Let's go the other way. Keep an eye on all of you. And so, yeah, that's it. That's nice, Willow. And breathing. Nice and steady. You got it. And then release. Now, the knees can come down or your legs are straightened. It depends on you. You're going to slowly Chaturanga Dandasana. You're coming down onto the belly. And take a moment. Bring your hands to your one hand over the other. Forehead is down and rest for a moment. Deep breath in and exhale. And then we'll be on our elbows. So we're on our elbows and maybe extending. Keep pushing down. Got it. So I would say hard, really use your hands. You like really push, and it could be like the pads of the fingers kind of pushing. Yeah, and then there you go. And then lower, and now we're gonna rest your head again. Just rest your forehead down, take a breath in, exhale. And now hands are alongside chest. And press up. We're gonna have 3 cobras. Yeah. And lower, forehead down. push down, lift up, extend. Oh, they feel better the second time around, definitely. Am I just saying that? It was like, really? And then, okay, we've got a lion blend here. So you're Cobra with a lion's voice. Breathe in. You got your tongue. And then lower. Forehead down, resting. You'll think I'm strange, but every time we do Cobra, I start smelling coffee. Is that weird? Where's that coming from?
At 10 o'clock? No.
I know, it's 11, oh, it's 11:25. No, I just smell, I don't know why. Both times, like a pot of coffee brewing somewhere. That's the strangest thing. Okay, so from here, let's go ahead and we're going to grab hold of one foot. So that depends on you. The easiest way is to come onto your side and grab hold of a foot. Another way is to be on your belly, grab hold of a foot. And some of you are fine. You can take both feet and draw both heels towards the other. So if you're doing one at a time, I'll tell you when to switch. Yep. And then if you're doing one side, switch sides, go to side two. If you're doing both, come to bow. Come to bow. So Dandasana, Dandasana is the bow, and you kick back, and there you are. You can rock. They call this the fountain of youth pose. I like that because, yeah, I hope it's true because you're as young as your spine. You have a physical age, which you can't change, but if you're as young as your spine, you can have some influence over that. Release and rest your forehead down and breathe. So we're pressing back again to child's pose. Stretch out your back. Let's see, side bending. We have forward bending, twists. We need an arch, a deeper arch here. We had an arch in our bow. All right, so we're coming to Shavasana. I just want to, and I'll get the lights in studio, and I just kind of want to show something. I actually saw a picture of this the other day. I was looking at some, reading up on restorative yoga, and this is what they did for Shavasana. I've never done this, but I think it might be interesting. So, you know, usually in Shavasana, we have our feet wide and the hands are up. And what they did, and if you have a towel, you can put a towel over your eyes. What they had was they put this strap across the thighs, and just like you do when your legs are up the wall. And they had a little bit of space, like a little bit of space, and then that was it. And it is interesting, you know, because your legs are relaxed. You can even go wider if you like, if you really like the wide. And it just gives you this sense of being contained, of being held. I know it's odd. Why would a strap across your thighs make you feel that way? But it works. It seems to work. I don't want you to feel with the strap, I don't want you to feel like you have to push against it. I don't want your glutes to tighten up. This is all about deep relaxation. So if the strap helps you to feel held and supported, then that's enough.
I want you to take this precious time to go into this day of calm and feel the goodness of peace, like what that goodness, the good aspect of feeling peaceful, this moment. The good aspect of stillness. The mind is so busy, and most of the time. And the yoga poses, they can push some buttons. They can make us feel, sometimes they can make us feel on top of the world, and sometimes they can sort of shake us to the core. They can be revealing and help us to learn more about ourselves. But we must always practice with that gentle, be good to yourself. You're becoming stronger and more flexible and calmer with your practice. So we'll start to deepen the breath. It's a short, it's very short, but it's our precious 5 minutes of stillness. We're going to start to move your hands and feet. And if you, if you put that strap on, you'll have to release it. And just gradually make your way to sitting. Make your way to sitting. I love watching you guys come on to Shavasana. Everyone has a way. Yes. All right. So we'll end our session with an Om.